We're gonna be super chill today and do a really easy cat beanie. So hang out with me for a little bit. Today we're gonna use size 5 hook or H, and a really scrumptious because the color, it looks super yummy. I can just eat it. Big twist, regular yarn. So let's get started. We start with a chain 50. Do that and I'll meet you back right here. If you haven't done a chain before, you essentially start with a knot like this. And then if you don't know how to hold your yarn, I do it this way. I wrap it around my hand and then use my thumb and my middle finger to control the knot and put some tension on the yarn, and then I chain from there. So I've got chain 50. The pattern is super simple. It's just half double crochet back and forth until you reach 20 inches. Let me show you how to do half double crochet in these foundation chains. We start with our turning chain. That doesn't count. And then we will insert our hook in the second chain. So yarn over, ignore the turning chain, insert your hook in the second chain, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, and then pull through 3. Okay, so yarn over, insert your hook in the next chain, pull up a loop, and then pull through 3. Yarn over, insert your hook in the chain, pull up a loop, pull through 3. And we're gonna do that for the rest of the chains. So I've done all of the half double crochets in each of the chains. Look how beautiful that is, all the way to the end. So now I'm gonna have to do a turning chain here, right? That's my last half double crochet. You do a turning chain, that doesn't count, and then you turn your work. On the first stitch, you do a full half double crochet, right? And then on the subsequent stitches, except the end here, you do front loop only, right? So a front loop only meaning that is, this is your loop, right? And then the back of your loop is this one right there, and then the front is actually this one. Back loop, front loop. So all you gotta do is, for half double crochet front loop only, is pick that front loop and then yarn over from there, and then half double crochet from there. Okay, pick that front loop, yarn over, half double crochet from there. So as you can see, you know, you can be confused by this because that also looks like your loop. That's not it, it's actually this one here, right? So like, you actually go in between this and then pick that loop and then half double crochet. So this one here becomes a ridge in your work that makes it that gives it a beautiful textured pattern. So I just finished the second row here, and now I have 2 more stitches left. That's 1 and then 2, right? So I do you know, front loop only in this stitch, like so. But in the last stitch, I do a full insert into the loop, like that, right? Just by experience, that evens out the edge of my work like that. And then don't forget your turning chain, and then when you turn, right, you yarn over and then do a full insert into the first stitch, right? Full insert there, and then here you do in the middle of the ends, right here in the middle, you do have a front loop only, half double crochet. Okay, just a reminder, so you don't go too far and then you realize doing it very inconsistently. Okay, just want to show you I've done several rows. I'm not counting it because all I need to do is measure it and make sure it's 20 inches. Look how even the edge of my work is right there. All right, so that's 20 inches. Okay, so now we will simply need to join this panel, fold it in half, of course, and then join it like right there, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we'll do single crochets up here and close it all up. Okay, to join this panel, so I have my last stitch right there. I already did my turning chain, and this is the other end of the panel. So I just go look for the first stitch on that end, grab a loop that I had hanging there, and then just pull it through. So now all you need to do is on the next stitch, right, you go look for the front loop only of the other side, so like right there, and then pull up a loop and then slip stitch like that, and then next stitch, look for the front loop only, right, of the other side, and then pull up a loop, slip stitch. Let's do that again. Front loop only of the other side, pull up a loop, slip stitch like that, and then do that, and we'll meet you here in the end. So this is the right side of my work, and those are the slip stitches that I finished on the wrong side. So now all we have to do is do single crochets on the top. Okay, so I'm just picking up the loop that I left over here, and what we're gonna do is do single crochets, right? And we will just be very consistent about it. Like here, like as you can see, the ridges are very distinct, so we're just gonna do one inside the ridges right here, one in the middle between the ridges, one inside, one in the middle, one inside, like that, all across the rim. Okay, so like this one, we will put one there, right, and then one that's inside the ridge, right, and then one in the middle, one in the middle like that, and then one inside the ridge like that, and then the middle, you can see the middle like that, and then inside the ridge, and then the middle, and then inside the ridge, middle, inside. Okay, so I'm back here in the beginning of the single crochet, and I've done 46 single crochets all around the rim. And so what we need to do here is just slip stitch on the very first single crochet that we did, like that. So if I had 46 stitches, all I need to do is figure out, like count 23, and that will be kind of like the middle in the other side, right? So it'd be all like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 21, 22, 23, and I'm gonna mark that like that, right, which means that I can now kind of like pair up all of my single crochets and then do slip stitches on each side to close it all up. Okay, so I'm just gonna be all like on this one right here, on both of them. I want it on both of them, and then the other side right there, right? I'm just gonna do a slip stitch on that one, and then this one and that one, slip stitch like that, and then this one and the other side slip stitch like that. Oops, sorry about that. This one and that one slip stitch like that, and so on and so forth. All right, and then I'm gonna begin here and do the other side as well. Okay, so I'm in the end here, and I'm just gonna do chain right there, and then I'm gonna cut this yarn like that. Okay, of course there's still that gap, so I'm gonna turn it over like this, and then I'm gonna the pair of that one is actually this one, right? Like that, and then I'm just gonna be all like this. Oopsies. Okay, and then all the way there. Okay, so now we're done. We have this, you know, hide all of the ends that we have right there, right here, but let's see if it fits. This is the back of the head, and then let's see. So this is kind of like the advantage of, you know, kind of sewing it or doing the single crochet and then slip stitching here. The ears of your hat is much more pointed, right? Like that. How cool is that? Okay, so I hid all of the excess yarn right there, the ends, and put my tag right there, and then like that, and then I actually have this. I'm gonna pair it with this, right? This hat is actually paired with this, and like that, and the girl who I'm gifting this to will never get cold when she visits her sister in London, like that. And the next project that I have is actually a cat beanie, but we're gonna put heart patterns on the panel. So I hope you hang out with me on that one too.